Another impromptu video. Today is January 25th, 2026, and as you can see, I have this transaction pending on Magic Eden for Bitcoin MIMI 91. And let me just make sure that I stay floating on top. I actually might not, but I decided to buy this Bitcoin MIMI because I've been kind of doing some value hunting in Ordinals, which are not very popular in January 2026. And I ran across this artist. Let me see if I could pull up his. Yeah, okay. OTO, he's a Japan-based artist. And when you click on his link tree, and see if I can get myself floating back on top. There we are. I was just clicking around some of his collections, right? And he has been making art in the ordinal space for a very long time. Bitco MIMI seems to be one of his more exclusive collections where there's only 100. Whenever I buy something new, I try to do some cross-reference. I go and look at a lot of his other arts and collections and see if I was able to find. Was this the post I was... Yeah. Let me see. Maybe I typed in Bitco MIMI like that. I go and see just on Twitter what people are saying about the collection. It looks like when it dropped, it was very hyped, but subsequently, people have kind of gone away from Ordinals. Ordinals are not that popular. It looks, this was one of the tweets I saw that made me very bullish, one of one arts. And this is someone who is clearly a collector of OTO graph. These are all the different collections that I was showing you here. So he has a bunch of different collections, and Bitcoin MIMI seemed to be one that was quite undervalued. So now this nice duck Bitco MIMI 91 belongs to me. Very excited about it. And just some kind of tips for you guys when you're buying ordinals. One thing you want to do is you want to look at the details, right? Go look at what the link looks like. But really what I like to look at is price history, and I like to look at activity. So what I noticed with this Bitcoin MIMI is that it's essentially been owned by the same person for a year. And as time has gone on, he's just kind of dropped the price. And I think it was just, when was this? 4 months ago, where he listed it at $265, hadn't sold in the last 4 months. And so, I clicked on his wallet. You can kind of go creep and see what other things he's collecting, what other things he holds. That's kind of a tip to just kind of gauge. Me personally, I gauge how sophisticated I think this person is, how deep into ordinals I think he is. I look at some of his other listings, right? And kind of gauge where I think he's at in terms of ordinals and collecting, and why is he selling this thing, right? So, someone who, at least this one wallet, not a whole lot to really go off of, but I did notice this bit block and kind of looked at, the kind of a high sale price for this bit block, in my opinion. So I was like, all right, this was someone who doesn't have necessarily a huge pulse on the market. And when I went and looked, where is it? Okay, well, you can just go from here on the links. What I like about OTO as an artist is, one, he's just consistently making stuff. It has a very unique flavor to it, very generative. And these Bitco MIMIs are actually quite outside of his general taste. I really like the monoliths, and I wanted to get one, but decided to get the MIMI instead because there was only 100, and there is a larger supply of the monolith. There's 333, but I think eventually I will get a monolith. I already owned an apoptosis. I don't remember when I bought it, or apoptosis, but okay, let's go look at Bitcoin MIMI, right? And you can see what I liked about this was 72 owners, 100 supply, and there's 21 listed. And then when I look at the ones that are listed, a lot of them are just kind of the regular Bitco MIMIs. And there's these specialty ones, like this Donald Trump one, this wizard, right? And I saw the duck the duck was like the fourth cheapest one. And so I bought the duck because I was like, all right, well, duck seemed kind of rare. I liked it. It had the Bitcoin orange. I also do really like this little skull looking guy. And even the green guy is like, kind of cute. But yeah, so then you go and you kind of look and see what people are talking about on Twitter about the collection, right? And it looks like there hasn't been a whole lot of buzz, but that wasn't surprising to me. One, because Ordinals is just in kind of a slump. But two, I think I had seen even the artist himself said like, I haven't been very active on X lately. I haven't released anything new since Polylith. Even so, I've received so many more messages. So this is someone who's like still just creating, who obviously hasn't been very active in a while, but he's an artist. And you know, if you like an artist and you like the art, then you collect it. I will continue to collect some of his pieces. I think Japanese artists are undervalued in just generally in the NFT space, in the ordinal space. But I think that I like betting on Japan. I like betting on Japanese artists just because Japan has always been a place of sort of cultural significance, right? Like anime, Pokemon, Nintendo, all these different brands, manga, these things that eventually just kind of take over the West. And so I like Japanese artists based in Japan, and just a very consistent style and very consistent dedication, right? And so to be able to get one of his, it looks like he's been interacting with Bitcoin Art Society, right? So these are all just like really good signs you want to see of an artist. So to be able to collect one of his 1/100s Bitco Mimis, I think it's a huge win for my collection. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.